What up, y'all? It's TTAR, and today we're looking at what Kalos Pokemon might get Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Legends ZA. Last time, we left off with Gourgeist giving it the no. Yeah, y'all got yourselves to blame for that. We're trying to predict Game Freak and be as realistic as possible, because they will give weird ones Megas like Audino, so we're trying to figure out their way of thinking. Next one is Klefki. Klefki is an interesting Pokemon because it collects all these keys, and there's a whole story to it. You want to hear it? Look at this. These key collectors threaten any attackers by fiercely jiggling their keys at them. But here's when the story starts to come out. It never lets go of a key that it likes, so people give it the keys to vaults and safes as a way to prevent crimes. So no one knows how Klefki came to life. It's not even like it's a ghost type. It's this key ring that's alive, and any key that gets put on the ring, it'll never let come out. And for this reason, it actually becomes a royal-like Pokemon where freaking aristocrats will hand down Klefkis through the generations with important keys on them. Look at this. This is a very recent entry in Violet. In the past, noble families entrusted their vault keys to a Klefki. They passed the Klefki down through the generations, taking good care of it. The immortal 1,000-year-old Klefki? So, it sounds like they could create a Mega Evolution or an Evolution explaining what the deal with Klefki is. Why does it collect these keys? What is it waiting for? Look at this. It will even sneak into people's homes to steal their keys. You know, technically Klefki should have tons of regional variants, kind of like Vivillon and Arbok, where there's just different keys on them. That might have been something they wanted to do. Like Floette, right? You know, there's various flowers. They might have wanted like 5 different variants of Klefki where it has different styles of keys on them. But anyhow, entrust the Klefki with the important keys and the Pokemon will protect them no matter what. It sounds like the ultimate thing they can do to Klefki is not Mega Evolve it, but give it an evolution. Here's something that's interesting. Look at the image of Klefki. What is its face? It's a freaking key ring. And Klefki itself is a key. So there could be some story here where something has to unlock Klefki and it can evolve and release all the potential. So maybe what Klefki is doing when it's stealing keys from people and happily accepting them, never letting them go, is it's looking for the key that will unlock it. And Klefki gonna get an evolution where its base stats go from 470 to like 550, like a golden go evolution. Here's my final verdict. Will Klefki Mega Evolve? X. I don't think Klefki would get a Mega Evolution, though that'd be a pretty cool Mega Evolution to give it. It would probably focus on making the big key on its forehead something huge. Or I guess it unlocks itself. The mystery solved within its own Mega. Klefki looks like the kind of Pokemon that could get nothing. That could look just like this in Legends ZA, no evolution even. But what they could do is, if they wanted to extend the Kalos regional decks, in Legends ZA they could announce a Pokemon that's actually the counterpart to Klefki. Whatever that means, right? Because Klefki does have the key hole on it as well. Maybe it's a black ring Pokemon. A very sacred, long lost relative of Klefki, and they're always searching for each other. Something like that. Or I suppose it would be just a key Pokemon, like a golden key Pokemon. So yeah, long lost relative of Klefki. It's said that when this key Pokemon and Klefki are finally reunited, something magical will happen. It could be kind of like a Carablast X-Elgar situation where you have both of them in your party and you can cross them over. Or maybe it's for like the first time, excluding Black Criminal, they actually merge into one final creature. They fuse, release Klefki's potential. Boom. Legends, yeah, that sounds like something they could do. But this video is about Mega Evolution. That's a good idea. Let's go to the next one. Trevenant. You know, Trevenant is so weird. When it was first shown to us, it was actually more or less leaked, and everyone thought it was like a pseudo-widow evolution. At the end of the day, Trevenant is quite a boring Pokemon. Its stats aren't good, 474 BST. By the time it can land a strong attack, it's already dead. But it does have some cool Pokedex entries, like it can control trees at will and will trap people who harm the forest so they can never leave. So it creates that magical Alice in Wonderland forest. Using its roots as a nervous system, it controls the trees in the forest. It's kind to the Pokemon that reside in its body. So collectively, I mean, you could say one Trevenant controls the whole forest, or a bunch of Trevenants have like a hive mind and control the forest together. So in that way, it sounds pretty cool to give it an evolution. People fear it due to a belief that it devours any who try to cut down trees in its forest, but to the Pokemon it shares its wood with its kind. So I figured out my answer. Trevenant, we'll answer you in a second. Let's go to the next one. Gourgeist. Gourgeist is a pretty cool Pokemon. Its stats are a little better than Trevenant's at 494 BST, and they also gave it some special attention, Game Freak, because they made a bunch of forms for it. Its Pokedex entries tell a variety of stories. Look at this. Singing in eerie voices, they wander town streets on the night of the new moon. Anyone who hears their song is cursed. It sings joyfully as it observes the suffering of its prey. Like it's a freaking pumpkin Pokemon, but it like sings Halloween songs. Pisses people off. But then, there are variations between the different Gourgeists. Like the little ones will act like kids because they're small enough. Look at this. Small Gourgeists pretend to be children to full adults. Anyone who falls for their act gets carried away to the hereafter. They get their freaking spirit sucked out. Gourgeist can get a really cool Mega Evolution where it looks like a giant jack-o'-lantern. Right? You know how they really mess up designs sometimes in Megas? It would be inside it. Let's actually look up some Mega designs for them. Okay, this is an insane design. It's this. So pretty much Trevenant just gets super evil and it like brings out a bunch of souls. It goes pretty well with the idea of Trevenant controlling the forest, right? You can imagine this thing at the center of the forest properly controlling it. It's like the mastermind. It also forms like a one-man forest, right? You imagine if you are walking through somewhere dark and you encounter this thing, it would like create the illusion of this spooky forest around you. Here's a Mega Gourgeist that kind of was what we were talking about. So the main Gourgeist is in the stomach. It looks all nasty because it's like the inside of a pumpkin when you're scraping it, right? But it's like sucked out what formerly was the head of the Trevenant because it's kind of like come out of its shell. They wrote an ability for it called Peekaboo, where when its HP goes down to half, its defense and special defense rises. So something like it closes its mouth and so you just see the glowing eyes. That is a really cool idea. Both of these are cool Mega Evolutions for Trevenant and Gourgeist. But here's my final verdict, right? Evolution or Mega, they're not getting either. It's just the way Game Freak's gonna roll, and it's just a guess, but I don't think they would get attention in these games. But oddly, some really unique designs came out of it. These designs are a lot more interesting than a lot of the original Megas. I hope Game Freak does something like this for the ones who do get Megas. Anyway, my dude, shank that like button. We are at the end of the Pokedex. I see Volcanion and all down there. To think I thought we could finish this in like 2 videos. Actually, 1 video. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Which Pokemon do you think should Mega Evolve in Kalos? And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.